Morning everyone, just a quick one. I'm not going to actually make the card, but I'm just using this lovely stamp from Annabelle Spenceley for Crafter's Companion. It's the Hello Winter one. I've just stamped that with my Memento. I'm going to be using my brush dry blends. So this is the dark red blend I decided to use for her outfit. I did, obviously with working in my other room, bring the colours through from the other room that I thought I was going to be using. So I did forget to bring a colour for the reindeer's antlers and his hoofs. So at the end of that, those will not be coloured in, but they will be by the time I come to put another video up with the card that I choose to make from this. As I say, this is just going to be my little colouring video to let you guys watch, because I didn't have everything I needed in the living room. It's been a chaotic couple of days, so I thought it would just be nice to show you the colouring with these again. As you can see, I'm using primarily the little flicky technique, as I like to call it. It just creates quite a nice bit of texture in there. So from darkest to lightest, just using really little teeny tiny flicking motions, obviously in spaces that are just a bit too small to physically fit in. I'm just using standard three-way blending, dark, mid, light, but where I can, I am putting the extra flicks in just to give it that little bit of texture. It was just trying to work out exactly where all the red needed to be. I decided to give her red tights, excuse me, as well. I debated doing them green, but decided in the end that I quite like the idea of doing them red. And then as I was about to put my red away, I realised that I needed to do the hat on the little reindeer, because I forgot he was wearing one. And then I was like, oh, he needs his hat colouring in as well. Poor little dude, nearly missed his hat. I absolutely love these images from Annabelle Spenceley. They are adorable. They're just so super, super cute, and they all have such nice, happy looks to them. They do make me feel really Christmassy and happy when I look at them, I'm not going to lie. And, you know, it's starting to get colder on a night, so that to me means start Christmas crafting, without a doubt. Although I have been doing it since lockdown started in March, so never mind. So this is the burnt orange blend I decided to use for her hair. The way I decided to do this was to lay down a full lot of colour in the lightest shade and then add flicks of the two darker shades to try and get some texture in there. I was pretty pleased with the way it turned out. She hasn't got that much hair on show, so there's not as much that you can see of it, but that's how her hair turned out. If you can see that, it kind of looks like she's got highlights and stuff in there, which is quite nice. Fair skin blend for her face. She's a redhead, so there's not going to be a tan on there. It's a struggle that I know oh so well. Obviously her face is really small, so I just blended those in the standard blending format. This is the ice grey blends I decided to use on her boots. It's just a nice gradient in from a black, without it being too dark. It's not much of it in there, so that's not too bad. Just from dark to light again. I'm quite impressed I remembered to go between his feet. So the two colours I decided to use for the reindeer were the earth brown blend, and the other one that I'm not currently using is the tan blend. So I decided to do most of his body in the earth brown, so I'm just using the flicking technique again on that, just to go around his face so it gets lighter in the middle. And then I thought I'd do his fur in the tan blend just because it's a little bit lighter, so it adds a little bit of contrast and just a little bit of interest into there. So this is just me flicking away with the pen to get it to do the effect the way that I wanted it to. I did go over, once I'd done all this bit of blending, ever so slightly with just a general little coat of the colour. Just there was a couple of the edges I wanted to smooth ever so slightly, but I do like the effect that it gives, I think. His ears, I debated doing the inside of his ears in pink, but I decided that I'd go with just the lighter shade of this earth brown blend. Took a little bit of deciding, but that was how I thought it would look quite nice. And as you see, I think it looks nice with him having the little bit of brown under there as well. I don't think the pink would have quite had the effect that I wanted. His little tail is very cute, so I decided to obviously have a nice flick on there as well. And I've decided to try and get all of the darker shade of his body done first and then go back in. Usually with marker colouring, I try to do small little sections, but I've noticed with these they are really, really juicy, so they do have that little bit longer to get in for the blend with them, which is really nice. So I wasn't quite as worried about getting the blend to blend out properly with them. So I'm just laying down the lighter shade now. So that's like most of his actual body done, and then it's just trying to decide where to do the legs. The legs are far too thin to do any kind of flicking on, so I just drew a very, very careful line down the edge. These markers, the point is really fine, so as long as you're delicate with it, you can get quite a nice detailed line with them, which is lovely. Obviously with it being a brush, I did worry that it might not do that, but it does do that really well. And then obviously this is the tan blend, so this is just for his little tuft on his head and his chest hair as well. You'll notice as well that I am turning my paper a lot as Aquila when I use my other tri-blends, because I'm just doing standard blending. I don't really need to, I just kind of twist it which way I want with my hand and colour from that angle. However, with the flicking, it's much easier to flick from the bottom to the top than it is to try and pull down to flick. So my page gets twisted a lot with this, just to try and get the effect that I want. You'll also notice that his nose gets left white as well. That is because my intention is to glitter this up a bit. So his nose is going to be red glitter because I've decided he's going to be Rudolph. And then, as I did with the one I did previously, I'm also going to do all the white bits on her coat and her boots and everything with the iridescent glitter as well, just to give it a bit of sparkle. But that's it, apart from I debated using that one to try. I just debated using the fair skin to do his antlers even, but decided it wouldn't really do the trick. But that's the picture. I'll see you for the card later. Bye.